Oh, I didn't have my sponsor.
Right, hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Two Angry Vets. And you are with me, myself, Thomas Sheridan,
Tom Ridgway,
Shane Christie,
and special guest.
Rob Bell.
And today what we're going to be talking about is a little bit about himself, what he's gone through in the army, where he's been, how he found coming out and what he's done since leaving and where he's at now. So, Rob, first of all, do a little icebreaker, mate. Tell us all a bit about yourself.
So, obviously, I'm from the West Country. Joined the local regiment back in '93. Like, you weren't even born then.
You got that young blood.
Just a
I was.
he was.
Cheers, lads. Yeah.
Joined the local regiment, went up to Catterick. Do you know Boulogne Barracks?
No.
So,
Bolon.
yeah.
Bolon
Boulogne,
Barracks,
That's the accent thing.
And then Wafgill.
Yeah, Wafgill.
So they were rebuilding the camp back down there, so we all had to go up to Wafgill. And then, being a crow, I had to cycle to Ariston's, the pizza place down in the White Shops.
Yeah.
And the pizza had to come back at least warm, otherwise I used to get beaten.
What, from Wafgill?
Yeah.
That's
Wow,
a big
that is
some ride.
Imagine if being in when it'd come back frozen.
The pizza, if you two go, the pizza's not coming back, boys.
The pizza coming back.
And then I was in the Duke of Edinburgh's Royal Regiment for about 6 months, and then we, through all the amalgamations, 94, we made up RGBW, and then I went to Bosnia in 94.
Nice, what was Bosnia like? So your first operational tour, how did you feel about going your first operational?
It was like, because you don't really know, do you? Obviously, you're going down there, and then you're hearing stories about what's going on over there. Obviously, the Cheshires had a hard time.
Yeah.
We used to get stopped at the checkpoints. One time, the lads were going on leave. They got kidnapped for 4 days.
Yeah.
We were in a place called Garajda. We were living in an old, like a bus depot. And then from there, we'd go up into the mountains to do OPs and stuff.
And how long were you out there for?
Just over 6 months.
And obviously, as your first operational tour, I assume it was a massive eye opener.
It was, yeah, because obviously I'd only just turned, literally 18, and then you're going out there and, like, some of the things that you saw out there was, like, from the mass killings and, like, the surge.
Was it mass genocide?
Mass genocide, big mass graves, weren't they?
Yeah, so you're seeing all that, and then you had to go down to go check on, like, one side would be like the Muslims, the other would be like the Serbo-Croats.
Yeah.
So you go down, you have a chat with them, and just make sure they're not shooting one another and stuff.
Was
like
it United Nations, was it?
It was, and then like a year later, it went to ISAF.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sorry, I4.
I thought, ISAF's Afghanistan.
Yeah, so they went to I4, and then so we just jumped around. We had to take loads of civilians at one time to Sarajevo Hospital.
Okay.
And then we were getting shot at IDF. Yeah, it was crazy.
What? At Sarajevo Hospital?
Yeah, as we were dismounting,
really?
And pushing the civvies into the hospital.
There's a lot of responsibility as well, what people don't understand.
When you're
Like an
18 as well,
lad
yeah.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
And it's eye-opening as well, I think, going to war, especially for the first time and stuff like that.
It's been going for ages as well, like before we even sort of really got involved. So
No one knows how you're going to respond to
What
your first
was-
contact or anything like that. So do you remember your first contact and stuff? And
I didn't have like any contacts in the military. I'll go on to all my CP stuff,
Yeah.
but my best mate was killed out there.
In Bosnia.
Yeah. So,
How did that come?
so you seen the Saxons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were going up into the mountains in the Saxons to do the OPs, and obviously then we'd use that platform as a deterrent, or if we had to man it. But we were in an OP, an old bombed out house. We used to live on the top, sort of sandbagged, and then we'd do the OP from the top, and then we'd sleep and feed ourselves underneath. But the roads, even the engineer said, like, the roads are barely big enough to take the lannies up. So part of the tyres were off the road.
Yeah.
And then the side crumbled and it went down, tore the cupola off the turret. The section commander was in that, got thrown out. there's a side door. One of the lads was holding on to the side door that got ripped off, and he got pulled, and then it bounced over the top of him. And then 3 of the lads got killed. So you got Bones, Martin, and what was this? He'd only been with us literally about 3 months.
Mental, innit?
So like, yeah, it was like, and then that wasn't the first time. Like that was with my company, a company, and then like 4 or 5 weeks before that, it happened again, but just the driver died. So yeah, it was like it was horrendous.
Yeah, things were happening over
But then like there was nothing like. I gave him my day sack, and like 3 days later, I got my day sack back, but it was just covered in claret. It was just, but then you didn't. It was just like the next day you get up and you had got to go to work. There was no speaking about it. It was,
Yeah.
The problem that we had as well, they brought the Saxon back down and they parked it on a trailer on the inside of the front gate.
So everyone's
Everyone
Saw it, so we went out at night.
But you're all thinking,
we just put
now
some-
next time, is it us that's when we're next?
Yeah, so we went out
Something all the
there
time.
at night and we just put tarpaulin all over
Yeah.
it. It was, I don't know. Yeah,
You don't want to be looking at it.
So what was your thoughts then as a young lad, a young
He's like-
child? Is this for me? Or
Yeah, no, that didn't affect me. Like, was the army for me? It was just like Monday, I'm talking to him. Tuesday, he's gone.
Just getting your head
just
around
getting your
that.
head around the
Was
loss
there
of your mate.
any like say what's the word I'm thinking of where you when you've done something you come back and you
Decompress.
You decompression, yeah.
Decompression.
No
You got back,
decompression.
handed your kit in, your winter kit.
That was
a
it,
winter
yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
Handed your kit in. Obviously, then get on parade, see how it goes. Great tour and all this. Where obviously we had some fatalities and things like this, and then it was see you in 6 weeks,
Yeah.
and that's it. You're gone.
Okay, so you come back from Bosnia,
Yeah.
6 weeks at home, and then you went to
Cyprus. No, Cyprus. Jesus.
So was Cyprus United Nations or was it
no,
posting, or was
just a
it-
posting.
Yeah.
Limassol.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And you're out there
Not
for...
Limassol.
Bacteria, is it?
No, Limassol was.
What, Larnaca?
Larnaca.
No.
Where they
We'll
do...
get this. We'll get
Up near Paphos, in between Paphos and Limassol.
I only know that. Decalia.
No, that's far up north.
Oh, yeah, that's-
isn't it?
yeah.
So it's up near Bloodhound Camp.
I don't think that's there anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
That's probably... That probably... Yeah.
Anyway, we'll find what it is.
We'll find out,
We'll
yeah.
put it on a picture of
So you went out there for 2-year posting, was
3
that?
years. Went to the Falklands for like they call it a RIC tour, which is
Yeah.
Reinforced Infantry Company. Went out there for 4 months. Thought I'd save some money. Chaos.
Just in the
Fighting the
bar.
Navy, fighting the Marines.
Who won?
Of course, us.
Yeah.
Come out the toilet, and there was just a massive kick-off, and then like lads were fighting everywhere, and I kind of ripped the phone off the side of the wall, and I was beating people with it, and I shook it. Oh, there's money in here. And I walked back to the block. I walked down to the block, and I was prizing it open.
600 knives and shell.
I work here.
so then, yeah, so you come back from there.
And then so that would have been like 97. Then I went to Northern Ireland. That was my
Okay,
first
right,
tour
yeah.
in Northern Ireland.
What year was that now?
98, Crossmaglen.
How was that? How was
It
that?
was like, yeah, because obviously they call it bandit country.
Yeah.
That everybody just hates you. Like you'd go on patrol and there's people spitting at you. They trained the dogs to go for lads wearing DPM and stuff.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of horror stories about you know.
Yeah.
It was the
It
booze
was-
traps and stuff. They were
Yeah,
making.
yeah.
And
Really long
Squad
hours.
is if we see a backpack, you're gonna kick it.
Yeah, so like
and
you
they were
couldn't
linking
touch. You know, I tell the lads like if you didn't drop it, don't pick it, don't kick it.
Yeah.
Just report it. And then obviously we'll get ATA or Wiz, you know, to come down and have a look
Wiz
at it.
will.
because it was like quite a lot of things like that, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so there's
Literally beer
like
bottles and
water
things,
bottles.
and yeah.
So there was one of the civil defence workers at McGilligan, which is near the prison.
Oh, that's a great bar, that.
It's like a camp up near the sea, and it's got loads of rangers. So he found a water bottle on the side of the training area, kind of picked it up, and it detonated.
Like a military one, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
old
black
yeah.
one, yeah.
Oh,
So it's a VOI in here or
Yeah,
something.
so then Crossmaglen was just long hours. It was like if you weren't doing patrolling or on guard, you were trying to get to sleep. But it was like they used to call it the sub, so it's 3-man bunks.
Right, okay.
And
Alright.
then the gap is like literally from here to here. You could just barely walk down it, and there's like 4.
Well
Just
Street would
for-
be full.
Just enough for like a section and a half, so like maybe 12 blokes in this.
Yeah.
And then you go up to the golf towers. So you do like golf 1, 2, and 3. Then you got Romeo 2-1, 2-2, and 2-4. If I remember rightly. So we went up to golf 1, and then you've got to then stag on there. You've got to go into different.
Rotate through.
Yeah. So then you're up there for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you're living
I'm-
underground as well.
Yeah.
So they dug in ISO containers, and you're living underground.
Yeah.
It's like what the guys drop onto, probably not saying threat, but up in Cyprus, don't they, guys who go who, if you posted out there, a lot of guys will go,
Yeah.
so is it 6 weeks up in the hills, something to do,
Yeah.
and they get a bit more money
Yeah,
for it,
so-
they get like on websites and that.
We had to do our like monthly rotation was like Akateri, Chudos.
Yeah, that's what I mean, that one.
And then you
yeah.
had to go back to camp and do your own duties there. And then
Yeah.
you'd have like a month off. And it was like, there was no RAF regiment there when we went. So we had to go
I mean,
and
thank
stag
God,
on
yeah, but yeah.
So did you
Boys North.
Probably
and
why
everything.
there was no breaches back then.
Yeah.
No e-scooters.
That's not-
yeah? Did you only go to Northern Ireland once then?
No. And then just before I went to Northern Ireland again, I was posted to Warminster as an instructor
Right. Okay.
for demolitions and things like this.
Right.
And then got posted back to battalion when they're in Colchester. Literally got there like over the weekend, and then Monday going, "Oh, you're going back to Recce," and I went, "Yes, excellent." But they're going to, you got to go, and then you got to get the beat up for the COP course. Post observation platoon.
Yeah.
So I was out there with COP and working with some of the debt and stuff out there, which was pretty cool, doing like sneaky.
And that was out in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, so we would like put OPs in and things like that.
Recce is, in my opinion, I'm going to buy us, but Recce is the best job.
Right,
I just
it
don't
is,
think anything beats it.
So you done Northern Ireland twice, and all
So
at
that's
this
a
age.
2-year tour.
2-year tour.
Yeah. So you're like
Oh,
a
yeah.
battalion out there.
You obviously enjoyed it. That so you went again. Do you know what I mean?
The
Like,
battalion was going. So
I don't think it would have mattered if.
no, I mean
Oh,
like, no, I mean,
I've got a daughter over there.
yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to go for.
I think it was not that.
I was trying to go for that now.
Oh dear.
That's why nobody likes us.
Yeah.
It's like I met her mum in a nightclub, and she was part-time Royal Irish.
Oh, really? Oh. My God.
Yeah, and then come back from there.
That's what I was getting at then. You enjoyed it, so.
2000. Oh, and then I went back out to Northern Ireland again.
To see your daughter, or
No, dog handling.
So did you?
That's how he got his daughter, innit?
Did you? So at this point, had you transferred then to dog handling?
No. It's just gone down as an infantry handler.
Right. Okay. So.
So I was there for 2
You
years.
get 2 year posted doing that.
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah, so that was down-
yeah.
That was down in Ballykelly.
Right. Okay.
And then we'd go and do like down into Lisbon. We would go to Cluny Barracks. We'd go down to Edmonton Barracks, which is just on the outskirts of Londonderry. So we'd go all over, and I'd go to Enniskillen and all places.
I mean, you've done a lot. I mean,
In a
for
small,
us, in
yeah.
a small period of time,
Yeah, so far.
and still at a young
Yeah,
age.
three tours in 5 years.
so
Yeah.
that's a period of like 13 years.
Yeah.
Are we on that now? So what year of 2000
So I left, joined at 93, left at the end of 2005.
Right, yeah.
And then I went in and then went straight into CP, went straight out into Iraq.
Okay, so what we'll do, so we'll close that bracket there for the actual military side. So what tore you to sign off and leave the military? What
All
was
the amalgamations, so we're about to get amalgamated again. So we're the Rifles now.
right? Okay.
So we're probably one of the largest regiments in the British
Yeah.
Army. I think we've got like
I
almost
think
seven.
there was
seven battalions,
seven
yeah,
battalions at
yeah.
that point, yeah.
What's the is a
So five normal, 2
Five,
reserve.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
no? What is the now?
Oh, sorry, no.
Three,
Three, I think. I believe in, I don't know how many reserve.
That just goes to show over the 20-year period, even from you getting out, is how many less people there are in the military
Join.
so
funding
you're
for
like,
it.
within the infantry, you'd normally get like between like 650 and 750 in the battalion.
Battalion, yeah.
So, but then obviously as the recruitment got worse, obviously that number starts dropping. So then you've got to start dropping either platoons or companies.
Yeah, I think we were sitting at between 450 and 500.
Well, we should sit anywhere between 350 and 450
Yeah.
as a regiment of our job.
It's the equipment though as well. There's not enough equipment to man that amount of people.
But the equipment is to the man.
Yeah, no, that's
how it should work. Okay, so where we're at there, so you decide to leave because the area's downsized.
Yeah, it was just
we're
like-
amalgamate. You lose history.
Yeah, so like it wasn't a local regiment then. It was like the Green Jackets. It was the D&Ds. It was us. Who else was it? Green Jackets. Look, LI. So you got like almost 5 regiments in one.
And I feel what happens there, like speaking from experience of amalgamating, is you get a couple of different new personalities coming. Everyone wants to push their own agenda.
Oh, yeah.
Certain
It
things.
was like
They all do things differently. And it's got to
it
be
was
that
massive
way.
bum fights.
It's
like
at the top
I've
of
come from the
cockfighting.
Green Jackets. I come
Yeah.
from the D&Ds. We do it this way.
We use a shit, we use a this, and the pyramid gets small at the top, as always. So they're fighting for jobs. So now you've got, these certain majors who was once in one regiment together and all mates. Now you've got ones from other ones still having to find a
Obviously,
job.
you're going to have so many sergeant majors. There's not going to be enough. There's
No,
too
yeah,
many.
so they get-
There's only one RSM. There's only one RSM.
Yeah, yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
And who's the RSM? Is it going to be LI? Is it going to be Green
Yeah, yeah.
Jackets?
Yeah,
What's he going
that's
to
the
impose?
issue.
But then
Is he going to impose something from the LI or something from
You
the
find then you'll have your first RSM, depending what regiment he's from, will push his ideas. The next one, it's probably going to be someone that's from another one.
It
And,
takes a
you
while.
need,
You need, like-
that regiment then changes again.
You
It's
need,
not
like-
consistent.
3 to 5 years when
To
then
get-
people were coming
yeah.
in and they're
They're
just
just-
rifles.
Well, we
Yeah.
had this, so I think for you were just Royal Lancers, weren't you?
Well, our cat badge now, 12 me.
So you kept now 12, well done. You, I don't know. But no, I'm joking. So you were predominantly Royal Lancers, really, weren't you? You joined into that.
I think we probably. I think
you were.
I joined. I think about 6 months after the amalgamation period.
And by that, like you say yourself, is that it takes a couple of, I won't say generations or such.
No, it's going to take
Generation
a
new
while.
troopers
Yeah,
come through
definitely.
before
You're
Royal
trying to push
Lancers.
out all the old boys.
Yeah,
so all the new boys.
You needed the new blood coming in who had just
Yeah.
rifles, and then you're going to get the. I'm not saying that they didn't gel because we did, but obviously.
takes a while.
I find the lads gel the top struggle more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Because there's too many, so you're trying to find jobs for maybe colour sergeants and
Exactly.
warrant officers.
And there's only one of
There's
them.
only
per-
so many.
yeah.
There's only
Yeah.
so many jobs that you can do. So yeah, so I did 13 years there, and then I went and did CP. Then I got back in again. So I
Okay, so just so I can keep for track here. So you got out. How did you find leaving? Was you happy to leave? You was good.
I was good because like when I went out to Iraq, it was all ex-mil. Everybody's ex-mil.
So it's
I-
basically the same
I
job
didn't-
role, but
yeah,
You
so-
didn't lose that.
camaraderie and
it was really strange because when I left, when I was driving out camp, I just thought I was on leave,
yeah.
like an extended leave.
Yeah,
And then I went out to Iraq 2.5, 3 weeks later, and it's just all ex-mil again. So you've got the same sort of
Banter.
You got but yes, the job's slightly different. I'm looking after clients.
It's run like a military though. How
Yeah,
you're
it
used
was,
to.
yeah. So
You've got your set
I work-
timings.
I worked for a London company, and I've probably stayed with them for I don't think I went to too many companies where lads would jump into different companies because the money was better.
Chasing the money.
Yeah.
So I stayed with that London company for 2.5 years, so 05 till the end of 08. And then I left because I thought I was pushing my luck. I'd been blown up. I was getting shot at. The Americans were shooting at us. Honestly, it was like the Wild West.
And this is in Iraq.
This is
Yeah.
where your
And this
first
is doing
contact
CP.
came into
Yeah,
it,
it was like every other day. I still remember like the first car that I had to stop because like as we drive in a convoy, the vehicles have to stay within 100 meters. But my TL said make sure they're 200 because if you get hit by the blast wave at 100,
Yeah,
you won't
you-
make it. So we used to go down to the American military and they used to build gun buckets in the back of our vehicle. So we had like F350, so it looks like an L200, with the back.
Yeah,
end.
Yeah.
So like,
the Fords.
yeah, so like one of those on steroids, and they'd build a gun bucket, and we'd sit in there and keep the traffic back.
ISIS mobiles.
yeah.
So,
They're a pickup truck, but an F-150 in the UK.
yeah, so
An F-250
Yeah.
is big.
350s we had, and then
Yeah.
we And then
like the Raptors.
as we progressed, so did like the armor, and then we turned them into like
Gun trucks.
gun trucks. So there was a gun truck with like just expats, but then we started making it so the lads could stand down, and then we had like mounted PKMs. So there was two in the back with mounted PKMs and stuff like this.
Yeah. Nice.
So it was crazy. Like,
Who were the clients?
so I had engineers, quality engineers. So we were rebuilding the Iraqi army bases. So that was later on. But when I first started going out there, I was at one of Saddam's massive ammo supply points.
Oh,
So in the invasion, because they were going so quickly, they kind of bypassed it because they didn't know what else to do with them. So we were in there. I was there for like a year. It was a place called Buckmaster up near Tikrit, where Saddam was born, and they built a camp in the middle of the desert because what we were doing is like we were digging pits. And then the munitions were going in the pits, and then they'd blow them out each day. So we were there for a year. That's how much munitions.
A year?
were there. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Was it that much really?
Honestly, it was horrendous.
And what kind of munitions
Everything
were you
from mortars from like 81 to Hup 120s.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sands.
These holes
Yeah.
are massive.
So surface to
So the
air
banging
missiles.
down,
Yeah. So I should have bought some more pictures.
So they did have a
You
lot of-
don't want to be standing anywhere near that when
I
you're blowing
was
the
sat on
sandwich.
It was massive. It was bigger than this room, and it was like I don't know. It was huge.
What, a sandpad?
Yeah. No. A SAM missile.
Just the sand itself?
Yeah, it was called a
No.
Frogger, if I remember rightly. There was like 20 of them in a line. And then,
Just
anti-tank mines,
Yeah.
munitions, just like aircraft munitions, like 500 pounders, 1,000 pounders, artilleries. They had White Foss out there. One of the lads got blown out of a pit. So they got like shipping eyes. So like you take the top end off it and then you put the fuse in. So with a shipping eye, it's just got a circle so they can be like picked up. And so they were putting them in the pit, and then it started fizzing. So he jumped in to try and tighten
Oh my god!
and it kind of blew the top off and blew him out the pit and blew out a couple of his fingers.
the White Foss was
Yeah.
burned.
Oh,
didn't
mate,
it?
yes.
So that's a crazy story. The fact that there was so much. I think
It was-
people don't understand how much
Like-
they were storing.
Because we were living quite close to the ASP site, people would come in and steal them, obviously, like the Mahdi army or the insurgents, and then you'd hear a bang, and you'd go out the next day and you've got half a donkey and then half a bloke who's been skinned alive. And because they're just stealing the munitions and they don't know what they're doing,
Yeah.
they'd send the kids in, to come and steal munitions.
That's it, right, yeah.
Like 20 of them. So we used to throw flashbangs at them because they wouldn't run away otherwise.
So after Iraq then, at this point.
So then, after Iraq, I said I needed a year off. I didn't. I ended up with 2 months, and then I went and did anti-piracy for 2.5
Was
years.
that on the ships?
Okay.
Yeah.
So in what?
So I was doing security on like the bulk carriers, the roll-on.
So going around like
ferries,
Somalia and that.
around Somalia, up in Egypt, around the Bab el Mandeb,
Captain Phillips.
Middle East, dropping tanks off in Iraq,
We had
India.
a friend in the regiment whose dad did that.
Oh,
It was captured.
he went into Indian waters. I think they said that they had.
Chennai, is it? What's it called?
I don't know. They said that they had the permits to, like, obviously to carry weapons going to Indian waters, and they got nicked.
We had permits, and then I lived in South Africa for 6 months while we were doing other things out there as well. But we had all the permits, but sometimes we'd get, so not necessarily phone calls, we had teletexts. Do you know what they are?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
get like a printed sheet of like a text, and it goes, when you're like 50 nautical miles of such and such, I need you to ditch the weapons. So we'd throw weapons overboard and stuff like that.
I think that's.
I think that's something what.
So roughly, I think that their issue was, and I'm gonna. If you watch this, let us know. But I think they work for an American company,
Yeah.
and they did. I think they was allowed to carry weapons at war, but American companies weren't, or something. There was a
There was a mistranslation, weren't there?
So it's like
Miscommunication or
you used to
something.
be in ports for like sometimes days.
Yes,
just
I
to
think they
make
were
sure
docking
that
up,
you-
weren't they? They were going into and he
They
did
spent a long time in jail.
Very long time.
time.
Go you were campaigning, weren't he?
So we used all sorts to take around: graphite, dust, cars going to like India and places like that. Then we went to Iraq. There's a camp called Bukka, which is on the outskirts, near the border of Kuwait and Basra. And then we were picking up loads. It was like a roll-on, roll-off ferry. It was huge, like 10 decks, just full of military equipment. Like they were.
Who was that getting provided to? The Iraqi army?
No. We were taking it back from Iraq to go
back
back
from
to
Iraq.
America. Yeah. Then obviously, I'd get off and eat at Egypt, and then fly back home, and then the company would fly me out again. So, yeah.
Did you enjoy that? Oh.
It was okay. Sometimes you'd be on the ship for like months.
Did you miss the action, do you think, a little bit?
No, because
from
I
what
got
you'd
into
gone
a couple
from?
of contacts while I was out there.
Yeah,
but it was just like, I could be weeks and weeks and I wouldn't even see another ship.
Yeah, you just.
And I'm just with the crew.
Yeah.
And like, the food was horrendous. I could be with like an Eastern European and they're eating like
Fish eyes and. rice.
and like fish and potatoes.
You were eating whatever that chef cooked, weren't you?
So the first thing I used to do was make friends with the chef, and then I lived off a week of like jam
I love
sandwiches.
Chinese.
The thing is, you can't just nip
We
to the
can
shop.
tell.
You can't just jump off the boat and nip to the spa.
No.
Yeah.
So you've done your two and a half years there.
And then I went to Afghanistan, worked for the British Embassy in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Doing
so
CP still.
Yeah. So yeah,
What was that like?
it was okay.
Where was you
it was
based out of?
Kabul.
Mhm.
So it was okay. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't like it was
What year is
dangerous.
this? Sorry, Rob.
It was about 2010, I
It's
think.
quite early on in Herrick, then, isn't it?
So and then we would we would
not
like
really, no.
do stuff around Kabul, and then we had our own private plane. The embassy did. We'd sometimes go down south and do stuff with clients down there. So DefEd, some of the military stuff. We were working with the military sometimes, and then we'd use the military because sometimes it was too dangerous to drive. So we'd ask the RAF or whoever, could we book a flight and they'd take us to camps. We were going to like military camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and checking out like the army, like I said, like quality surveyors were just checking because they're trying like you'd give them like money and they'd only spend like half of it on like sand and cement. So they'd put more sand and cement and the clients would come around and you could just dig the cement.
You could just pull it
and then they push walls down. Well, I had a female client. She, we pushed a wall down. This bloke, he was going absolutely mental. And he literally just, he just came running at him and I kind of bitch slapped him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was so funny. And he just started and I was like, with the interpreter, I said, look, you can't do this. We all know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to save money by doing.
You're trying to,
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what
Yeah.
they do. Like, you get
Are they pocketing that?
Oh,
that
yeah,
laugh,
yeah,
aren't
like-
they, then,
we used to go down to Baghdad like once a month and come back with like.
Comes home with 3
$3.6
chickens for his
million
missus.
in dollars, like $3.6 million just to pay everybody, the workers, and then the subcontractors, and then we would like live on base, and then crazy. We made a bar. It was absolutely.
I feel that's probably number one objective in it when you get to a quarry.
multinational. So was you guys a multinational company or? Was it just
yeah,
Brits,
no.
expats, or?
With us, I had a couple of Kiwis and Aussies, and mainly British.
Yeah.
So you told me a story when I don't know if you're happy to talk about it, but was it?
We're going to anyway.
We're going to anyway. No, because it's up to you. I mean, we can edit it out if not. There's a story about a lad that you said didn't tell his mum.
Oh yeah, so
He'd gone.
we were in a small compound. So instead of driving from like the COB, which was where the British Army, the Danish, and everyone else, SF were all there, we moved literally on the outskirts of the Iraqi army base, and then we just kind of drove or walked to. So then we'd get resupplied by the other team, and then I'd sacked the interpreter because I thought he was giving information to the Mahdi army.
Yeah.
And then they left, then we heard a massive explosion. The interpreter got shot. He's on the phone to my interpreter. They're all about the bomb burst out. I'm trying to gather everybody in the room because I need more details before we all go down there to certain death. But honestly, it was crazy. So we got Land Cruisers, armored Land Cruisers. We go down, I'm going down the road, and there's like an axle and a wheel here. The engine's over here. The gun truck here is on fire. The lad in there's dead. He was only 22.
And these are
These
your.
are Iraqi.
Oh, right, that's right. You're
So
on
we
this.
had like, so my interpreter, so like our front vehicle was 2 Iraqi, so it would be his driver and the interpreter. And then our drivers were Iraqi and the gunners were Iraqi. So on that day, 4 died, and then can't remember his name now. So I'm trying to get into his vehicle, and I had to go like through the back, and then we had to kind of wind the seat right back down so I could drag him out and into the back. Then I got him into mine, and then I was just having a quick check because there was like rounds pinging off the side of the vehicle. But they started congealing, so I just left them as they were anyway. We get in, I get the other lad as well. Yeah, he gets into the other vehicle, and then we're driving back to camp. And he's like, "That dinger, I need your phone." And I said, "Why, mate? We're in a contact. What do you need my phone for?" And he goes, "I'm going to have to explain to my mum that I've been in a car accident and I've been living in Thailand." He never told his mum that he was in Iraq.
What a guy.
So literally,
Did you give it to him? Yeah.
yeah, he's on the phone to his mum.
He's on a
Like,
sat
"Mum,
phone,
don't worry about me. I've been in a car accident. I'm going to be out for maybe like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'm going to come home." And there's rounds pinging off the side of the wagon. I'm like, this is what is going on here. So then we got back, and then I treated him, and then the hierarchy said, everyone needs to go back tonight just in case they do a full-scale attack. There was only like 6 expats and like 18 guard. So we all left. I sent the locals home, and went to the hospital the next day to go check on him. And it was so funny. It's like, "Oh, mate, you okay, mate?" He goes, "You won't fucking believe it, mate." I go, what's going on? He goes, "They've taken one of my testicles." he had some shrapnel because it was all doing its job. The blood was congealing, and I didn't need to do anything really, so I didn't go up any further. And he had like a bit, and he goes, "My balls on, mate."
So he didn't tell his mum, and he's got all the mobile.
At least you don't have to explain that to his mum.
Yeah.
We're going to notice you.
So you, I wonder if it's told her now.
Yeah.
So
Did he get to keep his bollock?
It's pickled now, yeah.
Genuinely?
I don't know.
All right.
So you,
Is that our
so you
gift?
done? You finished there. Was that about 2012 then?
Yeah.
When you come home.
And then, what did I do then? I came home for a year, and I was doing really poor, crap jobs, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't be a civvy.
Is this when this starts to slow down for you? And then everything else kicks in?
And then I thought, and I could see the change happening in Iraq. Like, jobs were getting smaller, the money was coming down. I needed to do something. So if I went for a job, I would be more employable than somebody else. So that's when I started thinking about, I need to become a paramedic. So then I started training to become a paramedic. And then I went out to Iraq as just a bod, as a TL. And then while I was out there, I started doing my paramedical science and things like this. And then I went overseas, and then I volunteered in a hospital for a month because I need to get my clinical.
You were out in Africa, weren't you?
South Africa, so
doing
just out on the outskirts of Johannesburg, a place called Tambo Memorial Hospital, where we all went and did our clinical hours, and then came back as a paramedic after about 2 years. But I was still kind of working in between. So I sat in the vehicle waiting for the client, and I'd be doing my dissertations and my essays and things like
Did you
that.
go to uni to do it?
No, I did it all, most of it online, because I told them where I was and I couldn't get back to the UK. And then I'd link it to my phone and send it, and then wait for replies and things like this if I needed to change it and stuff like that. But yeah, that was long days and hours. And then while I was out there, my job changed from like TL to paramedic. Well, they call it tier 2 medics. And then I worked for another company up in an oil field called Majnoon. It's a massive lift company called ALE, and they were rebuilding like one of the pontoons up there so they could, because they were moving the rigs about, and they wanted to move the rigs up on the Al Ashab waterways. So they needed a massive kind of pontoon and jetty that would take the weight of all that. So I did that on a barge for about 3 or 4 months, and then I went down and worked for another it was Iraqi English company. And then I got subcontracted out to Shell. So I worked for Shell for 7-8 months, Exxon, and then that company's directors kind of split because they were all ex-cavalry. And then he made another company, and I went to work for him till I left, till like maybe the end of 2015.
So about that time, 2015, when I joined up, just after you, and it's up to you again. We can take it if you don't want to talk about it, but obviously you've done all this stuff in your life, gone through a lot, and seem to have come unscathed.
Yeah.
And then you get on your motorbike, if you're happy to talk about it. And
so
obviously you had a massive accident.
So I was working as a paramedic in and around London, and I was doing event work. I was doing everything really, and then I was going on shift to Bournemouth, I think, or Paul, and I went to go to my mate's to go pick up my bike, and then I was going to Blandford to my mate's bike shop to go get an MOT done. So as I'm going down there, there's a place called Compton Abbas Airfield. So as I come around the corner, there was all I remember is like a black vehicle on my side of the carriageway. Mm-hmm. So as I'd come round, I thought I was going to T-bone him. So I thought, I'd split second, I was like, he must have seen me. I've got bright colours on. He's seen me. I went on his carriageway to go around him, but he started again and I hit him head on. So then I hit him and then kind of flung myself, broke my bike.
What was the bike?
It was a Ninja.
Oh,
How was that
what colour?
Ninja?
What colour?
Green.
Silver.
Silver.
Yeah. And then I skidded down the road, hit a road sign which broke my leg.
How fast were you going?
I wasn't like on the outskirts of Warmouth, I was doing like 140. But when I was coming
Just
up,
the 140.
but when I was like coming up, it's called Spread Eagle Hill. Police said it wasn't, or they went and checked the weather report there, but it was drizzling. And it makes the road greasy.
Yeah,
if it's raining, fine, because it washes away.
Yeah.
But if it's like a light
It
rain
just
or
stays.
It
mist,
stays on the surface like
yeah.
that.
So then I thought I don't want to put the bike down. So I was doing. I think my impact speed, the police said, was about 36 miles an hour in a 60.
Was you braking though?
Yeah, no. I didn't accelerate. I just kind of just went to go round
go
him,
round him,
boodling, yeah. And then he was doing about 18. So then, because when I hit the Range Rover, because I wasn't expecting it, because I was holding onto the bike so hard, as I lurched forward, I pulled part of my nervous system out my spinal column.
So what injuries did you get from?
So I broke my leg, open fracture. I dislocated all my fingers. I pulled the tendon and part of the bone off, which needed to be screwed back down. I broke my neck. And because of what I did to my arm, it's called a brachial plexus injury. So the brachial plexus nerve I pulled out. Mm-hmm. So I don't have very much movement in my arm anymore.
Oh,
So I had a nerve taken out my neck, put in my arm to try and get some of the movement back. Strength-wise, pretty poor. And then I had a massive surgery on my back to move some of the tendons and stuff like that around to try and give me rotational movement, but it didn't work. So
you got very little movement.
yeah, so I've got no tricep, I've got no delt, and I've got no pec. So
Crazy.
all that side is like nothing.
But so I mean, from
doing all that, it seems
I know.
that's the one.
Yeah, it gets a Range
And the
Rover
fact that you're
kills
only
me.
doing, it's not like you're doing crazy speed either.
No. But then obviously,
That's the end of your.
yeah. So
what you were doing as
Yeah,
such
so,
anyway. So how did you feel?
So then
from
obviously I was
that,
in hospital and like I was a paramedic and I was like, yeah, I'll be out in a couple of weeks. I honestly, I was
Did you not know?
I knew
what was?
It was
I
always
didn't know
tics.
the severity of
Yeah,
this,
no.
but I knew my broken. I didn't.
Well, you broke for 6 weeks.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be in hospital, and then obviously the doctors started coming and staying and stuff, and then like my mental health started deteriorating, and then mental health services came. I think it was like everything you do in the military or everything I did in CP and stuff like that. You put in a box, and then that box just gets thrown away and
then
never to be
got
opened
open.
again.
I think a lot of the time you're in the military, you don't get time to slow down.
No. So then I think that damaged the box, and then like little stuff
Things
started
were
seeping out.
So at this point now, for you was probably your hardest time.
Yeah, so it was
You were sort of stuck, not being able to
I
move.
couldn't do anything.
Because you've been doing 100 miles an hour for 25, 30,
140.
140 in some places.
Yeah, so like
And then
it was really difficult.
And how long did I mean?
So then I was in hospital for like 11 weeks. So then there's nothing to do, and I can't get out of bed because
And you're just in your own headspace, aren't
all
you?
the time. And I was like, I just want to go back to work. And then in the other sort of part of my head going, you're never going to do what you were doing again. You're gonna have
And then
to
that's spiraling you down.
yeah.
as well.
So then like. I thought about what's the point of being here if I can't do anything, and then like I'd go to the gym, and then I thought people would follow me to the gym, and then I like stand in doorways to see if people were passing me,
Yeah.
and then
That's the box seeping out in your
yeah,
gut,
so then
innit?
like
It's
and then you start going to like friends that you've lost, and then because of like because I played loads of rugby when I was in battalion, like friends that I played with the army, and then like I'm going to an interview in London, and my mate calls me up and goes, "Danny's just killed himself down the quarry," and I got to go for an interview.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then that starts opening the box again, where I thought I'd sort
Yeah,
of
of course. You
started
start
to get a lid on it.
revisiting the things you kind of boxed
then-
away for a little bit.
Yeah, and then I had an assessment with combat stress, and then I had like maybe 2 or 3 weeks off, and then I went back out there for 9 weeks, 6 weeks.
with combat stress.
Yeah,
So where, sorry?
combat stress.
Was it
So where did you go? Oh, you went to...
Yeah. So then for my PTSD.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of resentment and like stuff that happened in Bosnia, because like I can't say that because I don't know who it is. So, but
Yeah.
the stuff that happened out there, it's like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It was to the extent of we still had to drive the vehicles up there, but
Yeah,
it was just the driver.
It
Everyone
should
had to
never
dismount,
been,
Yeah.
walk up over where they thought it might roll.
Until the road
So there was,
gets,
nobody learned from the mistakes, and that happened twice. So there was no reason why we couldn't just, once we got the vehicles, the armoured vehicles up there, they could have been left up
Leave
there,
them.
and then we could have come down in Land Rovers.
Hmm.
Or sometimes we patrolled back.
You're just running a risk constant.
Yeah.
But
So,
the person who may hold that risk, they're not in the fucking vehicle.
No,
No,
exactly. Exactly. They're sat in an office somewhere.
telling you today.
So
Yeah.
so obviously you were at combat stress, and obviously did that help you? I assume
yeah, obviously I had to talk about stuff, and I
opened up.
don't talk. It helped me to a certain degree, but then I just had to keep going because you have to.
Yeah.
But me personally, I don't think talking to people helps me all the time.
No.
Yeah, everyone's got a
Sometimes it
different way.
does,
Everyone's got a different way.
but then it gets to a stage where I think, well, I'm not getting anything back from this now. I'm not getting. It's not resolved.
You've done as far as you can go.
unpacking everything, but
Yeah.
You're not feeling it's going away. You've got to pack it back
No.
away when you leave.
Do you feel stronger now than?
Oh yeah. So
So if you've got advice for anyone who may be going through, absolutely,
Yeah, so
or how like
it's
combat stress
like-
or so on.
the thing that you need to think about is like, if the worst comes and you want to do something, as in maybe commit suicide, but you just got to think about the people you're leaving behind, and it can be resolved by just talking to somebody, letting somebody know.
So one phone call, you...
Because there's loads of, especially if you're ex-military, there's so many charities out there willing to help you, and it doesn't cost a penny.
There's a lot of charities like I think when we've looked at this research and we're doing this whole pod, but the advertisement behind all these charities are great. I
No,
don't
so
think that's
like
what the charities fault. And the army definitely
Was you
not.
pushed to combat
The
stress?
military
or-
don't.
No.
push your
Combat
charities.
stress is one of the main advocates to do with PTSD.
No, but I mean,
So like, I
did you
tried-
choose to go
I
there, or
I
was...
with Safa.
Did your partner help you at all with the decision?
Maybe. So yeah, so it was that or get out the house.
Yeah. So obviously you've gone through a lot. You've done your combat stress, and the greatest advice, and we say this all the time, is to talk to people. And it's obviously helped because you're
Sometimes
still
it's
here now.
easier just to talk to a stranger than it is somebody
Absolutely,
that you know.
I'm a big advocate of that. I think I could tell a stranger my problems
Why do you think that is?
before I could tell anyone else.
Because they won't judge you because they don't know you.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, so.
Yeah,
But do you think that's just something that's you make up in your mind?
No, you don't.
Because your friends
I
wouldn't-
don't think you have
I'm
to
not
do it as
necessarily
such.
judge, but you being someone's friends, you don't want to know like
You don't want them to know how bad you're.
yeah,
you're-
or vulnerable you are.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one.
That
especially with-
pride thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
especially with ex-military or military, it's like because like you're saying, we do so many things. We're 1,000 miles an hour most of the time, and everyone looks at you thinking, "Oh yeah, he's a legend. He's really
Yeah,
smart.
that's
He's doing this." But then sometimes you
Yeah.
do have like difficulties. I didn't have any difficulties like when I was in. It was when I was out. I'm not saying that my PTSD may not have come on if I didn't have the accident. It may have come on with something else, but.
I think it was probably like we say a lot. It's the time to yourself
It
when
is
you're not busy.
having the time to unpack stuff.
Yeah,
I-
like you said, out your
When
box.
you're serving, you have a lot of time to unpack things, and then I think you come out, and I think you may maybe have this the identity crisis, but you finally slow down. You're in hospital, and you're going, I can't do this job no more, potentially.
Yeah, so then
What am I going to do? Who the fuck am I? Because this
Yeah.
is what I do. This is
your
my
identity
this is my
crisis,
answer. This is who I am.
so like we went down to see a specialist in Southampton, and we sat down with him. I think he was like one of the best in the country, and like I've got massive nerve pain in my hand. So for the last like 9 years, I've been on a lot of medication, but I live overseas now, and you're not allowed to get that stuff, so they've changed it. So I don't have some of the problems that I used to have. So like when I was first on them, I'd have conversations with people and then just fall asleep.
Was that not just the person?
It's only talking to me.
No, but yeah. So,
Just when he gets a phase one, he's
so,
Yeah.
so,
3 years in a row, right? We haven't done it.
so SAFA was a good one, and then combat stress. But then obviously combat stress are government funded, and they pulled the funding a couple of years ago. So
Yeah, we
I
said
think
that.
that's a big issue.
They
with
do a
things
lot
like
of their
that.
own fundraising now. They
Yeah.
also have a GoFundMe page. Something that I actually done a post on our TikTok saying that's it's a fucking disgrace, really, that they're having to fund themselves,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then I had when I was sat at home, I had a lot of help from like the regiment benevolent funds.
Well,
So I was in the signals as well. So
Okay.
so those 5 years in the TA, I was training to be a forward air controller with the signals. So they helped out. The rifles helped out. My regiment, the RGBW, helped out, and even a bike charity helped us out for a while. We were getting vouchers to go to Sainsbury's and stuff.
is that when you come off
Oh,
your
that's
bike
good.
and you won't
Yeah,
look
yeah,
in?
yeah.
It's really good. So there are
So there's
avenues
help
of
out
it.
there.
There is.
There is. It's just. I suppose is it having the balls to get and let somebody
Get
know,
yourself, get yourself.
and then to
I-
start your
And
journey.
I just think sometimes the awareness needs to be a bit more. There are charities and there are things available, but I wouldn't say the access to them, but the advertisement of them, you just don't see it a lot, especially if you're still serving as well.
Yeah,
You don't know any of
You
them.
don't see it on telly.
Yeah.
You'd have to go visit online. With
Yeah, you've got to kind of know where to look,
yeah.
I'd say.
But you get your trim training and stuff like that. Does that not get told like these are the charities? That,
No,
no.
not so much really, no.
Okay.
I wouldn't say so. I mean, you do get trim training and stuff, but I think there needs to be a package part of your resettlement.
yeah.
What says, listen,
Yeah, so
this
like-
is
yeah.
that.
So like-
This is what are out there.
So like when I was doing my resettlement, I wasn't going into CP. I was going into aerial rigging.
Yeah.
So I was going to do like
Rope access.
yeah,
kind of
rope
stuff.
access. So that's what I was going to do, and then I don't even know what it was. And then I was like walking down the corridor, and I saw a sign for Pathfinders, and I went back and I was like, "That can I get? I'll sign back on if there's a possibility that I can have like 6 months off
Yeah.
because they were going to Afghan, so I wasn't even on the roster then.
Yeah.
So they could have let me. They go, no, you'd have to go. I was like, I'm going to stay off then. So I think it's sometimes poor with the army that I think some of what the lads ask for may be a bit outrageous and they can't facilitate that. But if lads are leaving and they're asking for something and it's possible,
We
Yeah.
said we
We
touched
spoke
on this
about
saying
this, yeah.
if people, it's so hard to transfer regiment. Say I don't like it. I want to do this.
Yeah, instead of
them going, all right, we'll do our best to get you there. They'll just sign off. They'll just let you sign off.
Yeah.
There's no the retention isn't there.
No.
Definitely.
For
But, we're going to have to wrap it there.
Yeah.
Honestly, Rob, I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
And
that.
I mean,
really.
more than welcome to come back again.
What a
'cause I
great
reckon
story. And
we could
there's
talk
more-
for hours.
There's more stories.
I think we've got a lot more to uncover, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll definitely come on. So thanks very much.
You're very
Rob.
welcome.
Yeah.
And I believe you've brought something for the team.
Yes.
Leave him hanging.
Yes. So when obviously, I had to leave the Signals because I was playing, like, you got to do your mats and things like this.
Yeah.
So obviously you only got to do like 28 days a year.
Yeah.
Because I was playing so much rugby, the coach was signing my days off. So I'd go there for like 3 days, but he'd sign me off for the week. So I could get like on a season, I could get like double whatever I was doing. And then I'd just turn up for my mats and get that done.
Yeah.
And then my PCSO, funny enough, was my old platoon sergeant. So he goes, Dinger, you're taking the piss now. All you end up doing is playing rugby. And I know you've not been to a battle camp in years. And I was like, but have I not got all my days down? He goes, yes. I said, well, what's the problem then? So anyway, he goes, you're going to have to leave. And I was like, fuck it then. Anyway, just before I left, we won the Army Champions in Rugby League.
Oh,
So
Proper
At least in the league.
Proper
Proper,
So I ended up playing rugby league for the Signals, and then having a couple of weeks off, and then going to play Union. So this is from my regiment. So this is from like 2-1 Signals, Air Support Rugby Football Club,
Mega.
final cup,
final.
and then we won it.
Oh,
Nice,
cheers,
man.
man.
Really
Thanks
good.
very
It's
much.
all right.
Cheers,
There's
Rob.
a couple of trinkets, like some of these things. Well, I know one of the things you can't get anymore. So, and it's one of them still in its packaging. So this is when I was in training. This is my Signals cap badge.
Oh, perfect.
Oh man.
And then
How come you even ever opened it?
I don't know.
Because you never
Because
fucking
you've always
went.
played rugby.
Yeah. And then for my first sort of regiment, this is the regiment I stayed in the longest. So we had 2 badges. So this is our back badge. So we obviously had one, and this is the one in the back, which the rifles have on their number 2s now.
Oh,
We can
perfect.
put that up there.
Yeah, we'll put that up there.
have 12 on up here as well, so
Yeah.
we've got numbers inside.
Right, well, cheers.
Cheers,
Thanks
Rob.
very
Yeah,
much.
cheers.
I'll move it on.